Prospa's house music is everywhere right now, so this is how you produce that style in FL Studio. I'm gonna show you exactly how to make these house drums. The signature rave steps, groovy bass and vocals. By the end of this video, you will have a full Prospa inspired track. So without further ado, let's straight dive into it. So first, let's set the BPM to around 130, 31. Then we're gonna dive into the vocal. Let's pick a vocal from the After Hours 2 pack. It's the perfect pack for this style of house music, including a lot of cool house vocals. Let's drop in this one, fit it to the tempo. Something like this. I wanna step to you. And then just mix it first. Remove the low end. Add some delay. Some reverb. And a sidechain to use it in the drop. So altogether the vocal sounds like this. I know I play shy, but girl, I'm wanting you. I want you, baby. So now we're gonna dive into the drums. Let's start off with this kick from the After Hours pack. Make a simple rhythm like this. Every beat. And then a small variation at the end by adding a kick fill like this. Then we're gonna add in a clap. Let's go for this one. And layer every second clap. Then we're gonna drop in the open head at the offbeat. So this will be our basic drums. Now we're gonna add in some groove with some percussions and closed heads. Place this one right before the second open head. Slightly off the grid as well to humanize it some more. Then I loaded up this other head and place it right at the end, before and after the open head. Again, adding some more groove to it. Then we're gonna move on to the perks. We got some more space over here to add some more groove elements. So let's drop in this one right here. And I think I want to start off with some sort of a rim fill like this. Shorten it and get the second one slightly off the grid, because this is our groove spot. Something like this. Yeah, that's solid. This will be our drum foundation. And we're gonna layer it with some more texture loops. So for a warmer drum sound, I added this final loop and this fiddle loop. But it still sounds a little bit empty, so a trick I like to use is to drop in an open head at every hit. Sounds awful right now, so we need to mix it some more. First, let's add some distortion. Remove the low end created by the distortion. Put it stereo. And sidechain it around here. And then just drop the volume a lot, so you can barely hear it. But it gives some warmth to it. And of course, start off the drums with a crash fill. And this percussion fill I quickly made. So altogether our drums sound like this. So now we're gonna continue with the bass line. Prospa uses a lot of warm analog saw basses, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. Let's pick this analog wavetable, saw wave, 2 octaves down. Redness all the way down to keep it mono. Then create a short envelope and route it to the filter with quite some drive and fatness, giving us the key tone of the bass. Then just some distortion, dimension, compress it, a phaser with an envelope to it, and some reverb and delay, giving us this bass line. And then dive into songwriting. We are working in C minor because the vocal is in C, so let's start off on the root notes. And then simple progression by going down to the 6th and 5th. Like this. And then reverse it for the last bar. Up to the D and D sharp, small fill. Shorten the notes just a little bit. And press Alt Q to quantize it. And then just mix it, some compression. Open up the high end some more. And a big side change, use it together with a kick. Something like this. Let's mix the kick and bass together by compressing it. and add some more sub with an R bass, giving this effect, creating some more subharmonics. So it's fairly simple, but this will be our bass. The only thing that's left to do is to automate the mod wheel some more, giving this effect. So at the end of the 8-bar loop, it will create some feel like this. So that's it for the bass. Now we're gonna dive into the signature sound of Prospa, the house step you can hear in this viral track, for example. So we can create it two ways. We can either search on splice for a house step and use some steps like these. This one's perfect, for example, but we can also create our house steps ourselves. So let's go for the second option. Drop in a new serum, create a short 7th chord. We're going up to the 7th and the root notes. Then most of the time those one shots are organ wave stables. So let's go for this one. 1 octave down. Shape envelope like this. Already getting quite close. Just OTT it some more. Some more high end. And resample it with Edison. Record it. Track it in FL Studio. Copy over the bass note. Tweak the sample like this. So remove the attack. Altogether sounding like this. Quite cool, but we need to mix it some more. So first add an OTT. Distortion. Remove the low end. And some resonance. And open up the high end. Compress it some more. Add some delay. And reverb. And sidechain it, of course. All together sounding like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got all the elements ready, so now we just need to arrange it some more. First, let's make the build up by dropping in the bass, removing the first bit, and adding some animations on the master. You know, I'm crazy about you. Giving this effect. Ooh, baby, I can't explain how I feel. Which is dope, but we need some drums, so I copied it over from the drum. You know, claps. I'm crazy about you. Then added in a kick fill like this. Quite common thing to do in this genre. So we automated the sidechain as well. So we hit on every kick. Still sounds a bit empty, so added a string sound to it. You know, I'm crazy about you. And we can let it play around the whole track. And I also added this snare roll. Now just copy over the drop, turn it into a 16-bar loop, add in some vocal fills, and drop the vocal back in. Just like this. And to add some more variation to the second part of the drop, we're gonna layer it with this right loop. For this small drum transition. You can barely hear it, but it gives some more groove. That's how I make a Prospa style track. I think the final result turned out really dope, so let me know what you think about it in the comments. Besides that, if you like the video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I see y'all in the next videos. You know, I'm crazy about you.